Hello again, this is Miss Doolittle. This time we are going to be looking at graphing an equation from standard form, okay? This is also a part of your slope-intercept and standard form assignment. So let's go ahead and look at a couple of problems to help you out with those. Okay, now if you'll remember, I do believe that we covered this Accelerate covered this in an earlier section, but to graph something in standard form, we are going to use x and y intercepts. So what I believe I talked to you guys about in an earlier class is that we're going to use, at the high school we call this the cover-up method. That is most definitely an unofficial term. But the idea behind x and y intercepts, okay? Just to do a little review here, if I am looking at any x-intercept, so an x-intercept is anything that cuts the x-axis. So if you look at any one of these points that I'm putting on the graph right now, all of those have something in common, and what they have in common is that their y value is 0. So for instance, this is 1, 0, this one is 3, 0, this one is, it looks like 6, 0, and so on and so forth. You'll notice that if we do that with every single one of these points, you'll find that their y values are 0. Okay? So if I need to find the x-intercept, I get to rely on that information and recognize that my y value at that location is going to be a 0. So here's what that looks like. To find the x-intercept, I'm going to let y equal 0. So this becomes 4 times x plus 3 times 0 equals 12. Okay? So 3 times 0, of course, is just 0, right? So this turns into 4x equals 12. And then I can solve this equation. So here's what I want to show you. This is where that whole cover-up method thing comes in, if I can find the right spot here. This would be the same thing as if I just simply covered up my y term to start with, right? I have 4x equals 12. And the reason that I can cover up that y term is because my y value is going to be 0. So it's just going to sort of go away anyhow, right? All right, so if 4x is equal to 12, then I divide by 4 on both sides. And I find out that x is equal to 3. So that means I'm at 1, 2, 3, 0. That is my x-intercept. Okay, so now we're going to do the y-intercept. And at the y-intercept, we let, whoops, that's supposed to be a t, we let x equal 0, okay? Same type of idea here. I'm going to give you an example in red with red dots, so if you're taking notes, don't write these down necessarily. This point, if this happens to be, any of these are y-intercepts, okay? Right? So this point is 0, 3. This point is 0, 1. This point is 0, -1. This point is 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, -5. Okay. What you're going to notice is that all of these y-intercepts have an x value of 0. So that's why we're going to let x equal 0. All right. So when x equals 0, here's what this thing looks like. We're going to take 4 times an x value of 0 plus 3y is equal to 12. I'm going to move this out of the way so you guys can see that, right? So I had 4x plus 3y equals 12, but my x value is going to have to be 0 because I'm looking for the y-intercept. So as far as that quote-unquote cover-up method, I could just really cover up the x value or the x term of my equation and solve this equation, just like because 4 times 0 here is 0, it turns into 3y equals 12, which is what you get up here. So when you get to that point that you can recognize that all we have to do is either cover up the x term when we're looking for the y-intercept, or you cover up the y term when you're looking for the x-intercept, it just makes it a little bit more of a shortcut. Okay, divide both sides by 3. And I'm running out of room, so I have to write it over here. My y value is going to be equal to 4. So that means I'm going to go up to 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. My x value I know to be 0. And then I can go ahead and draw my line through those 2 points. There you go. That's not perfectly aligned, but it conveys the idea, okay? So there we go. That's how you graph when you have standard form. Let's take a look at another one. Okay, so this time, you guys now, I'm hoping you understand that with the x-intercept, the y equals 0, and at the y-intercept, the x equals 0. So I'm going to rely a little bit more this time on that shortcut that I showed you. Okay. All right. So at the x-intercept, y equals 0. Basically what that means is I can just cover up my y. Okay. I do want to see my equal sign though. So we're going to shrink that down just a bit. Okay. So basically what that means is I rewrite this equation as you see it right now. So 4x equals 10. Divide both sides by 4. And x is equal to 10 divided by 4 is actually 2.5. You can double check me with that with a calculator, but 4 goes into 10 2.5 times. So that means I'm going to go on my x-axis to 1, 2, and then a half, halfway to that next point. Oh, those are going to disappear. There we go. All right, x-intercept is done. Now I want to find my y-intercept. I remember that the y-intercept is where my x value is equal to 0. So I can move this over and just cover up the x term. And then all I have, this one's pretty straightforward, left is y equals 10. So I go to my y-axis and go all the way up to 10, which is way up here. And then I can, whoops, wrong tab, then I can put my line between those points. So it's going to look something like that. Extend that one through there. Okay? And there you have it. That is how you graph from standard form using x and y intercepts. If you guys have any questions still, please feel free to reach out to me and I'll be happy to answer those the best that I can. Thanks for watching. Bye-bye.